You're ready for What's Hot? We talk about stories that have all of us talking.
We are joined by local blogger Rochelle Fritsch, plus Jeff Wagner is back. President Obama wants to expand overtime pay. He'll ask the Labor Department tomorrow to issue tougher rules on overtime. It could lead to extra pay for millions of workers who are not currently getting overtime pay. So, should overtime pay be expanded?
Well, not in this case, because here's what he wants to do. There's typically been a difference between salaried workers and hourly workers. Okay, salary workers in general aren't eligible for overtime pay because they're not paid by the hour. What he wants to do is take some of the salaried workers at the lowest levels of the pay scale and say, okay, you're going to be entitled to extra pay. If you do this, what it's going to result in is a lot of people once again losing their jobs because this is another one of those unintended taxes on employers, and we just don't need this at this point in time.
Well, you know what, I guess I kind of see the other side. Of course, this does also reach the salaried workers who are at the lower end of the pay scale. As a working mom, I think about the people who are the shift workers, the convenience workers, people that are working 50 and 60 hours a week, and they're expected to without overtime pay. Mm-hmm. A lot of expense goes into that. People are working overtime because they can't make ends meet. So saying that, yeah, overtime pay should happen, certainly I think it should. Also because the last time this threshold was changed or raised was 10 years ago. We've got cost of living that's really gone up since 10 years ago.
Well, see, I wonder if the dialogue should be, what should the threshold be? The definition between salary and hourly workers. Maybe we need to redefine some of those salary positions.
I also think that the other bigger point that shouldn't be lost here is this is a policy matter. And I guess I object to the idea that we elect presidents, we don't have kings. This is a policy matter. If Congress wants to have this debate, and you can argue both sides, okay, is it fair, or alternatively, what's going to be the impact of the economy? This, to me, it seems to me it's a matter of a law change. Address it in Congress and let our elected representatives decide, not simply have an imperial president who simply decides, I just think more people should be entitled to this, so I'm going to try to do it through executive order. I have an issue with that as well, whatever the merits are.
I agree with you there. My other concern with that is how productive has Congress really been? If there's a chance of this dying there, then we're going to be talking about this 10 years down the road from now. So there aren't any easy answers.
All right, Rochelle, Jeff, we're going to leave that topic right there.
Coming up,
our viewer's choice topic of the day.
Again, we're joined by Rochelle Fritsch and Jeff Wagner. Today's viewer's choice topic: a Fond du Lac mother is charged with animal abuse. Amanda Fair's son bleached some puppies and dumped one of them in a dumpster. Prosecutors say she did nothing to stop it. Many people on our Facebook page believe she should pay a fine and not go to prison. What do you think, guys?
I guess I'd like to have more information as far as what the law would be, what the consequence is. And certainly if there's a consequence or a fine imposed or whatever, and it can be proven and it sounds pretty clear that this is what's gone on, then yeah, she should be responsible and pay the fine or whatever the consequence is.
Well, she's lucky that I'm not going to be the judge in this case, because if she's convicted, I would not be amused by this at all. And yeah, she'd probably do some time. Apparently what happened, from what I understand, the allegations are that the child pours bleach on these puppies, and then rather than seeking to get them help, she helps put the puppies in garbage bags and throws at least one of them away. It is absolutely horrible. You do not treat living creatures like this. And yeah, if she's in fact guilty of what they say she did, yeah, I just don't think a fine is enough. I'd say you need at least a little bit of jail time.
All right, but if you give her jail time, prison time, I mean, she is a parent. How do you wrestle with that?
Well, okay, well, that's like, I guess, I'm sorry, I'm not sympathetic to that. It's like saying, okay, go out, commit some sort of crime, and because you've got a couple children at home, we're not going to make you punishable about that. I mean, I think people have to be accountable for what they do.
I think people should be accountable, but I definitely think there's a valid point in the fact that she's a mom. Obviously, the child, I think, needs some help, and you're right. There's a lot wrong here. She missed an opportunity to set a good example for her son and say, you screwed up here, but there's a consequence to be paid. If there's some room in the middle where she can pay the consequence, whatever it is, but not be taken away from a child who needs a mom and probably some mental help. I think it should lie there.
All right, we'll leave it at that, folks.
It is time now for our lightning round. A big victory for the UWM basketball team. They made it to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 8 years. The Panthers beat Wright State 69-63 last night. The Panthers are dancing for the 4th time in school history. How far do you think they will go?
Okay, well, I got to be honest here. They're not going to go very far in the tournament, but that doesn't matter. Okay, let's face it.
Where are they in your bracket? Come on, tell us the truth.
Well, they're not going to get out. Well, I haven't seen the bracket yet, but chances are they're probably not going to get out of the first round. But it doesn't matter. This is a great story for UWM, and I guess I'm hoping maybe that this victory can kind of be a springboard and maybe some more people on campus can start getting excited about this. I mean, I remember a few years back when Bruce Pearl was the coach, there really was sort of a cachet to UWM basketball that didn't exist before and really hasn't existed since. Maybe this can be a springboard because I think it would be great to have another competitive, exciting basketball team in Milwaukee.
Well, next Monday you can share your bracket picks with us because the tournament will make their picks on Sunday. But this is exciting for the campus, and you're right, it brings back memories when Bruce Pearl was doing great things there.
See, I think I'm like the only person who didn't watch the Oscars, and I'm probably like the other only person who has no idea about college basketball. So I'm looking at this, and I was coached to say something about big dance, Cinderella, go UWM. So there it is. That's what I got.
Yeah,
what would be great to see is watching the game last night. There was only a few dozen UWM students at that Horizon League championship game. I hope that UWM finds a way to get a lot of Panther fans in the stands wherever they play in that first round.
Yeah, it can bring a lot of enthusiasm on campus and motivate students to think about something else besides school.
And maybe carry over to next year so you can get more than a few hundred people, that show up at a couple of the games. That would be great as well.
All right, maybe we can get Rochelle into the stands.
Maybe so.
Cinderella, big dance. She's got them down here. Okay.
The What's Hot discussion continues online. Find that page at TMJ4.com/hot.